this round. Hi everyone, my name's Allie. I am a high school chemistry teacher, and this year I will also be teaching anatomy for the first time in a couple of years. And I am here at school today to kind of set up my room. Typically I have my kids sit in pods. I like to do a lot of group work, and this year, because of COVID, we all know we can't do that, so I'm here to spread my desks out as far as possible. We know, the corporation knows and has sent out notices to families that we cannot get 6 feet between students without hiring a ton more teachers, and we just can't do that. So masks are going to be required at all times. There's a small group of parents, I believe it's a small group, that are advocating for student choice in terms of wearing a mask, but it's not going to fly in my room. They're going to have to wear a mask in my room. I'm going to put it on the syllabus. It's a requirement in terms of student materials, and I'm going to add a little section about, or maybe add to the safety section. Since I'm a chemistry teacher, I have a lab safety section. Maybe I'll just put a little note on there that for the safety of everyone in the class, you have to wear a mask. And if you refuse to wear a mask, you just have to go down to the office for the day, because I'm not dealing with that nonsense. So yeah, we're here to set up my room and see what's going on. So hopefully, you know, I'm trying to think through all of these things, and I've actually made a couple of videos in the past, and it's just helped me think through a lot of things, and I've never posted them. I don't think that's going to be the case today. I don't think I'm just going to be able to make a video and then have all my answers and not feel like it needs to be shared. I think we're all going to be in a big bubble of confusion for a long time and building this community together, specifically around COVID. And I've been watching a lot of first-year teachers. I guess I should have said that. This is going to be my 9th year teaching, my 3rd year at this school. And I just have a lot of anxiety about going back in the fall, and like, I miss my kiddos, but I'm not going to have those kids this year. They're done. They're going to be juniors. They're doing something else. I did take a look at my anatomy class, and I think I'm getting like 10 students back from chemistry that'll be taking anatomy with me, and that's super exciting. I'm like, before I looked at those lists, I was really just not really wanting to come back, but I saw those kids' names and got really excited to see those like 10 or so kids in the fall and just be able to check in on them and hopefully be a spot of normalcy for them. Just like seeing their faces will be adding some normalcy back to my life. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go in and see what we're working with. Okay, so we are here in my classroom. As you can see, I have most of my desks set in pods, which I have to move. This desk is probably going to have to leave because I think it's the 29th desk, because I did have a class of 29 last year, and we were told expressly we can't have extra desks this year, so I have to move all of these desks into rows. I do have a demonstration desk, so that'll probably be my like marking line, and then I don't know if I'm going to have to move this bookcase or not. The kids probably can't use that stuff, so I don't know if I need it for a student desk. I might move it over here, because I have this really weird, like, I think it's for cords and stuff, to travel instead of, you know, traveling it in the wall. It's in the pole. And then I have this that needs to move, so I probably will go ahead and move that, and I will set you guys up so that we can see the process. Take you over there. So this table is I usually have it set up with stuff for like kids to pick up on the way in. We'll have to see. Right now it's just out of the way. This whole thing is supposed to be for me, but I usually put stuff for like kids to use. Here's a little student made me that little weird cola thing last year. But it's usually stuff that I reserve for like students to utilize. But we can't do, I'll have to keep it locked this year because we can't use anything that's we can't use stuff this year that is, if you can see me, we can't allow kids to use shared things this year, so they have to bring all their own stuff. And then I'm assuming if I loan out pencils, obviously they'll have to be sanitized, so I don't know if that just means that pencil belongs to that kid now. I don't know. Okay, so I was able, I don't know what I was thinking. So I have 6 across and 5 down. So it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I only needed 3 in that last column. I don't know what I was thinking. So I ended up going ahead and moving that bookshelf back here. And it ended up fitting actually pretty well. Had to do a little maneuvering, but like there's really no, like there's like a book loss of space, which, whatever. And I did have to move these up a little bit farther to make room for that desk, which again, I'm still worried that like the kid in this desk right here won't have a great view, but like if you notice like these desks or these seats spin around a little bit, and then actually I gave them quite a bit of room between, so like I might have to squish those a little bit together. And I put the first 2 in line with each other, but not the rest, because I just wanted to make sure that I had room for 28 desks, and I do, but if any more, like if I get that 29th kid, I'm not putting them there. That's just not going to happen, so it means I am going to have to squeeze and reconfigure, and that's fine. I do that all the time with desks. I just wanted to make sure that for COVID, I was able to get all the desks in, and with plenty of space between seats and all that stuff. What I am concerned about though is I want to make sure like these desks will never be in front. Like they will always be in line with the door so that kids can just walk straight through. I'm glad I moved those up a little bit though, so I can move these chairs up a little bit, because once a kid sits in these, it's gonna block, which is not good. That's like a fire hazard. So I have to move those up a little bit, and then those 2 desks, that desk and that desk, is going to need to leave, and then that like old traditional desk is going to need to leave. That does also mean, I guess, that I don't get a TA this year, which is fine. No TAs at all, which is fine. But I think this is going to work. Now I'm just going to kind of clean up the mess I made, and I guess notify the office that I have 3 desks for pickup so that they can get out of here. I think I might move them up to the front of my room just so I can kind of see the visuals of all the desks together in a nice little row. And then I don't think I'll do this today, but I was going to number each of these seats and put packing tape over it so that on the first day of school, because I normally let the kids pick their seats, but this year we have to have assigned seats, so I'm just going to be boring and do alphabetical, mostly for me to learn their names, because so there are a couple of things I still want to do in my room for the next school year if we have school, which is I want to number the desks like with a little number packing tape so that it's a little easier for kids. I'll probably have, instead of a seating chart on the board, maybe just a list like 1 through 28, and then just alphabetical, because with masks, right, like it's typically pretty quick. Pretty easy for me to learn names, but with masks, I'm going to be putting names to eyeballs, and that'll be difficult for me. So I think having them numbered, and then we also last year did numbers we have calculators, class calculators, because we're not allowed to require that as a class material for free and reduced kids, which is fine. We worked around it, but this year, because there's no shared materials, I don't know how we're going to do that. I think I might still put them out and then have put them in plastic bags so that it's easier to, like baggies, so it's easier to like sanitize them after each use. But I don't know. We might not be able to use them at all. And then I also want to, I'll turn you around so you can see this. This was my like weekly, like week at a glance for last year. Like up top, I would put the date, and then if anything special was happening at school, or I did a lot of like weird, like unique holidays, I'd put them out there. And then this is like the week for chemistry, the week for ICP, which I'm not teaching this year, I'm teaching anatomy. And I was thinking I would just like swap that paper out, but I don't know, because the reason why I just did that, oh, and then that last one was FYI, the reason why I just did this was mostly for myself, so I could refer, or if a kid was like, what did I miss, be like, go look at the board, because I did packets, the unit packets, so just like, this is what we did today, and I would plan out a week at a time, so at the end of the week, I would put it up for the next week, and I was ready to go, but this year, since everything's up in the air, and I don't know, there's a couple things I don't know how long periods will be, because I think in order for safety, we're going to have passing periods probably be longer than normal, which means our class time is going to be cut a little bit. So does that mean I should be doing bell ringers or not? Because normally what I would do on the screen, I would have projected their objective for the day, the agenda, and then their bell ringer question for the day. But if I can't do bell ringers, I don't think I'll have the day start with that screen. I might just put like the agenda and stuff like on the board, because I don't use that board for anything else. I just like, if I get posters, like temporary posters for things, like not things that are going to need to be out all the time, but just like events and stuff, I put that on that board for them. So I don't know, sorry, there's a family touring the building right now. So I don't know if I want to, like in the past, I've had like separate ones for each topic, and then it's like the week at a glance like that, but very small, and then today's objective and the agenda underneath it. And I really like that, but because I was also putting that on the screen with the bell ringer, it just felt like too much, and I was just tired of having doing everything twice. Oh, also, something I'm not sure about. I have that periodic table up there, and I'm thinking about hanging it diagonally across that, like, pole thing. Oh, there we go, pole. Because we're not going to be using this bookshelf. The kids won't be. So it'll kind of be like a barrier to prevent them from going in there. But then the desk that's kind of hidden, it's got the little, like, stack of books. That desk right there. That might be too close for them to see well, but I know that like kids that are sitting way back here can't see it really well, and it's super glary anyway. Like I need a new one, but I want to make it easier for kids to utilize that periodic table. So I don't know. There's a bunch of decisions that if we end up going virtual, it doesn't matter. And I was so excited. I bought a bunch of stuff to like set up my room, and like now that I'm here, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be just like in this space. But when I think about kids in here, it just starts making me really nervous about COVID and stuff. And I'm a big person, like efficiency is key for me. So what's the more efficient use of my time? Is it to come in here and prep my room so that on our 2 teacher work days, our first teacher work day is July 28th, so 28th and 29th are our teacher work days, and the 30th is the first day back for kiddos. I don't know, in the first 2 days I was just planning on doing get to know you stuff anyway, so like does it really matter? But I am a planner, so and I would like to, if we're going to be back, I'd like my room to be finished and nice, because last year I moved classrooms. All of the chemistry teachers moved classrooms because our rooms were done, because there was a renovation at my school. Our rooms were finished, and so we moved. And so I didn't really get time to think about decorating my room, so it like came together very slowly. And for some things I'm happy with them, but for other things I don't know. Like right now I have a growth mindset board back there, which I really like talking about growth mindset with kids, but now that they're not in pods and they're all facing forward all the time, nobody's going to be looking back there, so that's kind of like almost like a wasted bulletin board. So should I move that, and like should I replace all of my quotes and stuff with that? And if I can't have my calculators out, then I need to do something with that board. and I had been planning on finding like graph paper fabric, like checked fabric or something, because that was going to be the calculator board and you could graph and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't know. It's just, I'm going to say, it's just, I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to best utilize my time while I'm here. My husband's at home with the 3-year-old, and so I have time to like figure it out. I just don't know if I want to. Okay, I'm gonna keep listening to my book. I'm gonna put all of the stuff away that's back on the bookshelf. I guess I'll keep the physical science books out so that those can easily go. Contact the people to get rid of the desks. And then I don't know, because if I pull that down and then I want to use it, I have to remake it, and that's just stupid. And the reason, this is so dumb, the reason why I like having it high up is because of heads, right, from desks. So like, I don't want to just do it all the way down, because then most of the class won't be able to see this, because there will be bodies in the way. So I like having it up high. I'm so neurotic. I'm so sorry.